I want to take a look at a little bit of the initial response in regard to DeSantis, Trump, the presidential race from the midterm results. So instantly after the midterm results started coming in and revealing that while the Republican Party could still get in the majority in the House, maybe even if they did really, really well over the next 24 hours in the vote counts that are coming in, take over the Senate, it's clear that the Trump ideology, the election denying, the movement that was built around Trump and the candidates that came from that is no longer nationally viable. While some, like Kari Lake, haven't yet been called, and there were some election deniers who won, not at all close to where they were expecting. And it was pretty clear that compared to more moderate Republican candidates, these election deniers did lose. And that's good news for democracy. But it started raising the idea, when you look at that, Trump endorsed candidates not doing well, Dr. Oz getting beat by Fetterman in Pennsylvania, yes sir. And then you turn and see DeSantis get a huge victory in Florida. Instantly, the New York Post led front page with DeSantis being the future of the Republican Party. Fox News, you'll see, is talking about this paper, announcing that the New York Post, DeSantis is the future of the Republican Party. And you can tell there's a shift. Oh no, Trump is clearly not good for our party, and we're going to have to make some changes. Maybe DeSantis is the change we need to make.
Well, one place where there was a great big red wave is depicted on the cover of the New York Post this morning. Young GOP star DeSantis romps to victory in Florida. It's called The Future. And when you look at what we know for sure, we know that according to the numbers, he beat Charlie Crist by 19 points so far. But when you look at the exit polls, and I'm looking at some by Edison Research exit polling, Ron DeSantis won Hispanic voters by 57%, women voters by 52%, suburban voters by 58%, and independents by 52%. His share of the Puerto Rican vote...
So you can see the framing now is the Republican Party didn't do great, but DeSantis did, despite that, have a huge victory. That might mean DeSantis needs to be the Republican Party's guy in their mind. Now, I don't think Trump's going to let that happen, which is beautiful, because we might be in a situation now where apparently reporting shows that DeSantis, or not reporting, I was hearing someone speculate DeSantis is likely getting encouraged now after these results to go ahead and run in this cycle for president, 2024, take over the party. But Trump isn't thinking the health or the best outcome for the Republican Party. He's just thinking himself. And so he'll likely still run. Maybe DeSantis runs and you get that clash that we were hoping for, that we thought was possibly becoming less likely. And that's really, really good news. Here's even Trump's former press secretary saying Trump needs to hold off on his announcement running for president, which he was going to make on Tuesday, if y'all remember, saying, I have a big announcement at Mar-a-Lago on Tuesday. And even a longtime ally of him saying, let's hold off on that.
And let me just say this, every ounce of Republican energy, every last ounce needs to go into that Georgia race, because it could potentially be what makes or breaks the Senate, getting Herschel Walker over the finish line. I know there's a temptation to start talking about 2024. No. 2022 is not over.
Great point.
Every Republican energy needs to go to grinding the Biden agenda to a halt. And that could go straight through the state of Georgia on December.
Does that include Trump?
I think he needs to put it on pause. Absolutely. Look, he'll make that decision. He'll make his own decision. But
does he go to Georgia?
If I'm advising any contender, DeSantis, Trump, whomever, no one announces 2024 until we get through December.
And that's different than the plan that Trump has, which is to announce. And so you can see the shift is happening. But the beautiful thing is, in the Democratic Party, if the political winds shift away from the person who was kind of at the head of it, they would care a little bit more about that. Trump won't care about that. He'll still run if he wants to run. And this will cause serious turmoil. And as we saw last night, the Trump brand being attached to the Republican Party, the election denying, the dangerous ideology that they hold is not nationally viable in the way that it would need to be dominant as a party. And so that means Trump is likely himself not going to be a viable candidate to win a general election in 2024 which is great news for America, horrible news for the Republican Party, and thus double great news for America. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to be a part of what makes this show possible, plus get access to the full video version of the show hours before any of the clips are uploaded to YouTube, plus get access to an extra full show every Saturday that only members can see, you can do so by going to patreon.com/Luke Beasley. That's patreon.com/Luke Beasley, and there is a link in the description.